Hello, welcome to the next video about Pythagorean relationships. Just have a couple examples on the front of the sheet for you today, and then your homework is going to be to try the examples on the back. So follow along, stop whenever you need to, and write down your questions in the side of the paper so you can ask me in class next day. So let's start with the first one. The Pythagorean relationship can be used to determine the length of the hypotenuse. So remember, hypotenuse is always the long side across from the 90 degrees, right? So to determine the length of the hypotenuse of the right angle triangle, the two legs are known, right? So the legs, we'll put them in a different color, just a reminder, are the shorter ones that go on both sides of the right angle. So let's see if we can find the length of C. So we have a picture, so we don't need to draw that. But we do need to write our formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So in this case, right, you have your A, you have your B, C is what you're looking for. So then rather than writing A, I'm going to write 3, right? And that's squared. Rather than writing 4, or B, right, I'll write 4 squared. And when I add them two together, right, I'll hopefully be on my way to finding the hypotenuse. Now, this is really important. This is not the same as saying 7 squared, right? You're going to get a totally different number. You have to remember a good old BEDMAS, do the exponents first before you do any adding and subtracting. So that means 3 squared is 9, right? 3 times 3. 4 squared is 16. 4 times 4 equals C squared. Now you can do the adding. 9 plus 16 is 25. That equals C squared. Great, but you just want regular old C. So to remember to go from the area, right, down to the side length, we take the square root of both sides. So the square root of C squared is C. Square root of 25 is 5, right? So that means that C equals 5 centimeters. So hopefully feeling pretty comfortable with that now. Let's try this more challenging question below. This time, if you notice, you have C, right? This is your A, this is your B. In this example, they're P and Q, but right, they're kind of all the same thing. So what this is saying is let's find it the side, or let's do a question where we're trying to find the leg rather than the hypotenuse. So pay attention to this one. It's a bit different. All right, they all start with the same formula. This time, you know C though. So I'm going to keep 15 all by itself over here. Right? Then on this side, I can put a 12 squared. And in this case, right, it's P that I'm looking for. So I'm going to write P squared. So I'll do all the exponents first, right, before I worry about anything else. It's 144, right? 15 times 15 is 225. Now I need to get, this is just like we did last unit, isolate the variable, get P all by itself. So, no big deal. You subtract 140 from both sides, right? There's your zero pair. They cancel out. And on the right-hand side, let me use my calculator. 225 minus 144 is 81. So P squared equals 81. Awesome. Almost there, but remember you're looking for P, not P squared. So, one last step. Square root. P equals 9. Right? P equals 9 meters. Right? So a little bit of a trick when you're trying to find, or when you have the hypotenuse, there's going to be some subtracting involved. Okay? Remember that. Okay, now the last type is when we have a composite shape. Right? So two shapes added together, it's a composite. So this says the right triangle below has a square attached to its hypotenuse. Right? We can see that pretty clearly. Bam. Right? We want to figure out the perimeter of the triangle. Now remember that perimeter is the distance around a shape or an object. So what we're going to need to do is find the 17 plus this side plus this side. Right? Give your answer to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So right now it looks like we're kind of in trouble because I only see one side of those three triangle sides. But this is really helpful. Right? That centimeter squared is the area of the square. So if I want to find the side length, remember doing this one? Area equals length times width, right? But in the terms of a square, right, it's side squared, right? Side times side, they're all the same, right? Here's my side, here's my side. Now in this case, you know the area. 914 equals side squared. To get rid of the exponent, square root, square root. This one definitely I need my calculator for. Right, looking for this little button on my calculator gives me an answer of 30.232 whatever. So let's go just 30.23 equals S. So that's the length of the side of the square. So I can write that in, 30.23, right? And there's a bit of rounding involved, but that helps for now. Awesome. Right, now I just need to find one more side of my triangle, and then I can find the perimeter. So this is looking a little tricky though, right? Let's see. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. You have the hypotenuse here, right? That's the 30.23 squared, right? And you've got the 17 squared, right? You need the other side, right? So you don't have this a side yet. So exponents first, right? Let's see, what's 17 times 17? It is 289. And this number squared is, guess what, 914. Awesome, right? Looks kind of familiar, I hope. So let's isolate for A. We'll subtract 294 from each side. And then in my calculator, 214 minus 289 equals 625. Sweet, right? But remember, that's the area. We want to find just the length of a side. Square root, guess what? Equals 25. Excellent. So, I know that one side of the triangle is 25. I know that the other side of the triangle is 30.23, and the other side of the triangle is 17. So to find the perimeter, I'll add side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3. And in this case, it's 30.23 plus a 25 plus a 17. Let's see, plus 30.23 plus 17, grand total of 72.23 centimeters. All right, bunch of questions, bunch of steps in there. All right, but you guys, all right, follow along, write down questions, and you'll be good to go. All right, good luck with the back side of the paper. Right, don't forget you have 3 more questions to go, and we'll see you in class next day.